Hello everyone, myself Saurabh Khade from University Department of Physics, Mumbai. Today we have discussed about energy from nuclear fission. This is outline. So what is nuclear fission? The nuclear fission is a process in which a heavy unstable nuclei splits into two lighter stable nuclei. You can see in this figure a heavy nucleus, that is called target nucleus, is split into nuclei called as a fission product. And the second figure you shown second figure shown the example of a nuclear fission. So how nuclear fission happens? When a slow moving neutron is bombarded on the atoms of a heavy unstable nuclei like uranium, then nucleus absorbs that neutron and then splits into two lighter nuclei. These splitted products like krypton and baryon are stable in nature. Now in this process, why does this energy coming from? If we weighted two lighter nuclei, then we notice that its mass will lighter than the heavy nucleus. So we can say that that loss of that amount of mass converted into huge amount of energy. So we can calculate this energy by using Einstein mass energy relation. And another one formula is given here, binding energy of nucleus. The binding energy of nucleus is a mass defect. It's not the mass defect. So mass difference between these atom constituents, the nucleons and atomic mass. Next one is energy release in fission. Uh, we discussed an example of a nuclear fission in previous slide, that is a uranium 235. If we calculate the energy released in fission of a uranium 235, then it will come across 200 mega electron volt. So this is a huge amount of energy. To realize how much huge amount of energy in fission, we can consider example of a chemical combustion reaction. In this reaction, about 4.5 ev energy is released, and comparing this energy with energy released in nuclear fission, we found that fission energy is 50 million times larger than combustion energy. So, and a carbon atom is much lighter than a uranium atom. So 1 ton of uranium 235 is equivalent to about 2000 times tons of coal. So we notice that what a huge amount of energy is released in nuclear fission. Here a table is shown in which distribution of energy release is shown. So energy in fission can be divided into two, that is prompt release and delayed release. So what is the prompt release? The neutrons that occurs directly from fission, that are prompt release neutrons, and delayed neutrons are the neutrons that are result of radioactive decay of fission fragment. So corresponding that fission product neutrons, so its energy is given. So next is chain reaction. A chain reaction is a sequence of reactions where a reactive product or byproduct causes additional reaction to take place. A chain reaction actually occurs depends on the relative probability of neutron induced fission compared to neutron loss. So this probability, if you can this probability can be visualized in terms of cross section. It is uh, consider a neutron moving at a speed v through uranium, where a number of 230 uranium 235 nuclei per unit volume is nf. If the cross section for neutron induced fission is sigma f, then uh, in 1 second a neutron will sweep out a volume sigma f into v. And if there are n neutrons per unit volume within the uranium, then fission rate Rf per unit volume is given, that is Rf is equal to Nf sigma f Vn. So in this chain reaction, how chain reaction happen is shown in this image. So number of neutrons are released in each fission. Chain reaction are there is this two process in chain reaction, that is controlled and uncontrolled. Actually controlled is used in nuclear power, and uncontrolled process nuclear reaction, it is used for nuclear weapon. Next is thermal reactor. Actually thermal reactor is a type of a nuclear reactor. A nuclear power is a source of intense heat which is in turn used for generation of power in nuclear power station. Its mechanism is similar to that of furnace in steam generator. And this reactor, So here is shown schematic of main components in PWR nuclear reactor. So PWR is the pressurized water reactor. This reactor has three main components. First is a fuel component, that is also called fuel elements. Second is moderator, and third is the control rods. So fuel elements having a shape of thin rods of about 1 centimeter in diameter and contain a fissionable nuclei. These rods vary a number according to the size of reactor. In large power reactors, thousands of fuel elements are close to each other. So this region where the fuel elements are placed are called the reactor core. These fuel elements are normally immersed in water, CO2 or He, which acts as a moderator. And you can show that you can show the control rods are located above the reactor core. So how the mechanism of a reactor core is the energy released by fission, and due to this energy fuel elements heated, and due to heated fuel elements fluid also heat. The hot fluid is pumped through this loop and produced a steam, drives turbine, and power is generated. The fuel is surrounded by a moderator, and the objective of a design of a core is to determine the condition required of the fuel and moderator for a chain reaction occur. With occurring chain reaction, it is also important that the ratio of number of neutrons induced in this fission in one generation to the number of produced in fission in previous generation. So this ratio is called multiplication constant K. So it is a very important factor. And this multiplication constant here show some facts, that is for infinite core K infinity is greater than K, and a chain reaction is possible only if K is greater than or equal to 1, and if K is equal to 1 then it is called as a core, then this size of core is called as a critical size. So next is the factor affecting multiplication constant. So there are four factors on which multiplication factor is depend. First one is the fast fission reactor. So it is the ratio of number of fast neutrons produced by fission at all energy to the number of fast neutrons produced in thermal fission. Second is resonance escape probability. It is the probability of that a neutron transits slow down from fission to thermal energy, and it depends on the choice of a material for the moderator. Third one is a thermal utilization factor. It is the ratio of number of thermal neutrons absorbed in the fuel to the number of thermal neutrons absorbed in all material that makes up of the core. Fourth is a number of neutrons produced per thermal neutrons. Its formula is given. So K infinity is equal to epsilon Pfm. It is the multiplication constant formula. So next is the moderator. The objective of moderator is to slow down the energy of neutrons often in a nuclear reactor, which produced during the nuclear fission process by the fuel elements. Here, an expression of resonance escape probability of a reactor core is given, and to be an efficient moderator, probability of scattering should be large. And here a table is given. Nuclear and material properties are given. Three materials: graphite, uranium-235, and uranium-238. Its density, nuclear cross section, density values are given. Next is a thermal reactor design. So in this slide we look about a thermal reactor design. First one is a PWR, pressurized water reactor. In PWR we see two loops are considered, but they are operating at different pressures. The primary loop is at 15 megapascal and secondary loop at 5 megapascal. The moderator which is mostly used, that is water, is at 315 degrees Celsius. The water acts as a moderator as well as coolant. When temperature of a core increases, moderation decreases. Hence, decreases the resonance escape probability. Hence, it is said that there is a negative temperature coefficient of reactivity, and the thermal efficiency of PWR is about 30%. Next one is core design. The surface layer of rod is about 0.01 centimeter. So because of low surface layer, strong absorption of neutrons happens within surface layer of the rod. Hence, the average flux within the fuel considerably lower than in the fuel in a uniform mixture of fuel and moderator. Hence, the escape probability is higher. So in this form rod also increases fast fission factor. The control rods, which maintains the neutron flux at a constant value, also make the core non-uniform. Last one is the reactor control. In case of using thermal neutrons, it is necessary to maintain the multiplication constant close to unity, so that neutron flux remains constant. In particular, as the fuel is burned, K will decrease, so that neutron absorption is lowered. This is achieved by electromagnetically operated control rods, which control the nuclear flux in the core of a reactor. The reactivity is defined by rho is equal to K minus 1 upon K, and it is used when describing the time dependence of a neutron population. And the rate equation is also given, dn by dt is equal to K minus 1 eta upon tau g, where a tau g is a generation time. It So generation time is a in a chain reaction there is a short period between release of neutron from fission and it initiating another fission with more neutrons. This period is called as a generation time. Next is fission product and radiating shield. So for fission product, that is here a formula given for a fission rate, F is equal to 3.313 into 10 raised to 19 P. So P is power output, actually power, and power output is given in gigawatt, and production rate formula is also given, Bx into fission rate F, and Bx is the fraction yield. And also another table is given in which three nuclides are given with its half-life value, fission and activity is given. The and another point is radiation shielding. So it is very required around the core to reduce the radiation dose to safe levels. Mostly it is only necessary to shield against gamma rays. So next is fast reactor. So what are the fast reactors? Fast reactors, actually it is more complicated than a thermal reactor, and due to this reason it may be expensive. Actually when it is here example is shown, when a reactor core is fueled by a uranium 235, some of the fission neutrons are absorbed by uranium 238 and produce 239 plutonium, and this conversion can be sufficient to provide more fissile material than used in the core. When this happens, the reactor is called as a breeder reactor, and so utilization of uranium can be increased from 2% to 50%. These reactors are refueled once or twice a year, in which doubling time becomes, it here formula is shown, mi ln of 2 divided by b minus 1 mp naught, where these quantities are also given. So what is a doubling time? It is the time it takes for the amount of fissile material in a reactor to double. It is called as a doubling time. So and it is in figure, pool type sodium cooled fast reactor is shown. So how it construct, the core consists of fuel rods surrounded by rods containing a fissile material, and the reactor is located partially underground to reduce the necessity for heavy shielding. We discussed in previous one slide, shielding is required, hence to reduce the shielding, the reactor is located partially underground in this type of reactor, fast reactor. Next is a present day nuclear reactor. So nowadays so many varieties of reactors are in use, are in operation with different designs, different moderators with a different purpose. So here some reactors are and with respective moderators and purposes are given. Another diagram is shown of very high temperature gas cooled reactor. It operates at 1000 degrees Celsius, and a Brayton cycle gas turbine could be used for high thermal energy. There is also strong negative temperature coefficient of reactivity, and chain reaction will stop if there is a loss of helium coolant gas. That is, if there is a loss of a coolant helium gas which acts as a coolant, then chain reaction will stop. For a higher power than the, for a higher power than previous one, like thermal reactor, like breeder reactor, the core would rise to about 1600 degrees Celsius. The design of fuel would prevent any significant loss of fission product at this temperature. The fuel is in the form of small spheres. In this reactor, the fuel is in the form of small spheres of fixed mixed fissile and fertile material contained in thin carbon and silicon carbide shells. As the result of the reactor is called a pebble bed reactor. So we looked briefly about here we very high temperature reactor. And uh, so next is safety of nuclear power. So in a world there are about 450 nuclear power plants in operation in some 13 countries. The use of nuclear power is concerned serious part. So there was a approx the main accidents of nuclear plants, but uh, three accidents considered to be very serious. First one is a wind scale fire. Its image is shown. So it was the worst nuclear accident, and it was happened in 1957. Second is a Chernobyl disaster. It was occurred in 1986 in Ukraine. And third is a Fukushima accident. Uh, it occurred in March 2011 in Japan. So these three nuclear accidents are considered very serious. But comparing another graph is shown that if we considered of death per unit of electricity, the nuclear accidents are the death from the nuclear accidents are very less, and it is good thing for it is good thing. The we can see that coal energy, hydropower energy, some or and gas, but nuclear power has less death per unit electricity. So next is environmental impact of nuclear power. The principal environmental advantage of nuclear power is the very small amount of associated CO2 emission, which makes it very good energy source in the light of a global warming. But radioactive waste is most dangerous for environmental as well as human health. Due to radioactive waste, most probably of water pollution happen, and it is very harmful for aquatic life and also for human health. Another one is nuclear waste and residue which are kept below the ground. Due to this, soil degradation happen. So these are environmental impacts of nuclear power. Next, last one is the outlook for nuclear power. The production of electricity, nuclear power has been increasing year by year. It is shown in figure. So from 1970 to about 2018, it is increasing. In the middle of approximate 2010, it is sudden eventually decreased, but after then it is slowly increasing. So area wise, graph is shown, that is in the world: West and Central Europe, South America, North America, East Europe and Russia, Asia and Africa. So mostly West and Central Europe and uh, North North America took major part of electricity generation. Another table is shown in which a nuclear electricity generation according to the data of 2005. Uh, so in this table we can see that in America, USA took USA use more nuclear electricity in the world, about 780.5 billion kilowatt, where UK where in UK a government policy document published in 2003 identified nuclear power is an important source of carbon free electricity. So nuclear power is a very good source of electricity in the form of global warming. So this is for overall nuclear power. Thank you.